Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here on this lovely winter day. And I'm here today to try to answer the question, is it better to put new tires on the front or the rear of your vehicle? Behind me, my 1993 Acura Vigor. I have an older set of tires in the front, a newer set of tires on the rear, and I'm going to test it out here in this parking lot with 3 different tests. I'm going to test stability during turns, I'm going to test braking, and I'm going to test traction from a dead stop. That's what we're here to do, trying to gather some scientific evidence. I say we start by talking about the tires that I have on the front and back of this car. On the front, I have the old tires right now. They are Cooper Lifeliners, Touring, all-season radials, 205 60/15s. Tread depth, 3/32 and about 3 millimeters. They're inflated to 32 PSI. On the rear, I have these Michelin Premier ASs, all seasons. These things have maybe 2,000 miles. I put them on just a couple of months ago. They have a tread depth of 8/32 and about 6 millimeters worth of tread. So these are definitely much better than what we have on the front. So we have a good difference between the front and the rear tires to prove out what is better. Good tires on the front or good tires on the rear. I'm going to start with directional stability. I've got some cones here. I'm going to set them out in a nice little slalom course, and I'm going to go through it 3 times with the old tires in the front and 3 times with the new tires on the front and see what the difference is as far as handling goes. I hope I've got them spaced far enough apart, but I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as I can with the old tires on the front. Okay, here we go. First test, slalom as fast as I can through the cones. This is hopeless. It's literally hopeless. I have not been on the gas in a while. And I cannot go in a straight line to save my life. Or I cannot make a turn to save my life. I keep going in a straight line. All right, we'll try it with just the 2 cones now. This is literally as fast as I can go. No, I have the wheel all the way cranked. And I'm still going straight. So directional stability. Try to come around. Whoa, there we go. Fit in a little bit. This is attempt number 3, old tires on the front. Through the cones. Yep. Almost. Maybe I'll make the other one. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Okay, well, I think as far as old tires on the front, making turns, not so good. There's not so much as far as directional stability with the old tires right now. Let's try a braking test. We've done directional stability with old tires on the front, and let's just say that wasn't working out so well. Now I want to check stopping distance. I'm going to get up to as fast as I can and then hit the brakes. Then I'm going to measure the distance it takes for me to stop, and I'm going to note the speed when I hit the brakes so that I can achieve that same speed each time when I do this test. So we'll do this 3 times and take an average of the 3 to find out what the stopping distance is between point A to point B. Old tires on the front. As I said, I'm going to try to get up to the best speed that I can muster, hit the brakes at the cones, and see how long it takes me to stop. Let's see what speed we can get. 25. Well, there's 30. Just enough space. Let's measure it out. I was able to hit the brakes here. Zero this up. We'll go from the cone to the front wheel of the car. (102.7 feet), and that was with ABS. With ABS. I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to move the cones just a little bit farther back because I almost ran out of parking lot. Just about 30 and let's check that out, see how far it was. Last time it was 103. I'm going to zero it up. Do the same thing from the cones to the front axle. 130.5. Old tires, second try. Gonna line the cones up again in a slightly different location so we've got virgin snow to do this with, and try it again. Braking test number 3, old tires on the front. Try to get this thing up to 30 again. And 30. Let's measure it up. 113.0. Now, I'm going to try from a dead stop taking off until the car catches purchase and starts actually getting some traction. And I'm going to try to feather the throttle a bit. I know full throttle is pretty much going to yield nothing, so I'm just going to feather the throttle and try to get up to speed as quickly as possible. That was, yeah. Try it again 2 more times. All right, now this test, extremely subjective. It depends on how far I'm into the gas, a whole bunch of other things. I'm just basically showing what the wheels are doing while I'm trying to get traction. Here we go, test number 2, old tires in the front. About quarter throttle. And there we go. Try this one more time. Let's put those new tires on. I'm going to swap the tires front to back now, put the good tires on the front, run through all the exact same testing. For those of you wondering, yes, the parking brake is on. Just to give you a comparison, the differences between the 2 tires. Okay, let's run through those tests with the good tires on the front. First slalom test with new tires on the front. I think I put the cones too close together. All right, let's try this again with the cones a little bit farther apart. That was much better, but still sliding, but honestly, it's a lot easier with these new tires on the front than it was with the old tires. The old tires, I was fighting it the whole time, but these are a little bit easier. All right, take 3. Through the cones, new tires. That was a much easier time that way than it was with the old tires. A lot more directional control. I say that's better. Let's do the braking test. Okay, braking test, new tires on the front, first run. Okay, just like the last test, I'm gonna try to get up to 30 miles an hour, and then as soon as I hit the cones, I'm gonna hit the brakes, then we're gonna measure the distance. And 30. That took a bit longer than I thought it would. $140, that was the farthest one yet. And I'm not really sure if that's because of the changing conditions, because it's been snowing, it's been warm, and there's water getting underneath things, but we'll try it again. All right, test 2, new tires on the front, from 30 miles an hour, distance to stop. That time it took a bit less. Let's measure. 124.7. Okay, final test. Braking, new tires on the front. Trying to get it up to 30 miles an hour. It's funny how the back kicked out there, but the front stayed grippy. 133.2. So there's like a little bit of an issue here with the braking test, and it's difficult to get consistency, and that's because I'm unable to get traction both with the new and the old tires to get a consistent reading on how fast I'm actually going. And I think that's the reason for all the variances in the distances when doing the braking test. And I'm going to run through one right now and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So the tires are slipping, the speedo's not reading accurately because the tires are spinning. And so here's the deal. So speedo's going up, but I'm not going any faster. So I'm trying to get it up to 30 and I'm feathering it, and I'm actually down to 20. If I just coast, I'm actually just over 20 when I do the stopping test. So that is skewing my results. But I can say this, with the old tires on the back, when I come to a dead stop, the front stops and the back end kicks out and keeps sliding. Third and final test, new tires on the front, seeing how well it gains traction from a dead stop. So I'm gonna hit the gas and try to get it up to speed as quickly as possible. We're gonna do this 3 times. Take 1. That was like nothing at all. Take 2, new tires in the front, from a dead stop. Let's see how long it takes to grab and get me going. Like nothing at all. All right, take 3 from a dead stop, virgin ground, taking off, seeing how well we get traction. Like it's nothing. I don't feel like I'm fighting it. I just feel like it just takes a minute. Once it grabs, it's got it. Cool. Let's wrap this up. Best case scenario is always going to be to put 4 new tires on your vehicle. But if you're not in a position to put 4 tires on and you can only afford 2, according to everything I experienced here today, I say put those 2 new tires on the front. Everything I experienced as far as taking off from a dead stop, directional stability. I talked a bit about braking, and as far as I couldn't really get an accurate speedometer reading when I was going through those cones, so I can't really call that test as valid. However, what I did notice is when I got to a dead stop with the new tires on the front tires would stop and the back end of the car would kick out a little bit. That says to me I had more traction in the front. I will also note that this is a front-wheel drive car. That being said, make up your own mind. I know you're going to have differing opinions, but from what I saw here, new tires in the front. Anyway, if you have automotive questions, I'm going to ask that you head over to EricTheCarGuy.com. I'll make it easy for you. I'll put a link in the description. If you wish to connect with me socially, Google+, Facebook, Twitter, also Instagram. Close each of my videos. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. Thanks for watching. New tires on the front. I'll see you next time.